advice that I can say, the best investment you can make in your career and yourself is self-investment.
I think the question that we just need to pose there, are you investing in yourself as a young professional?
Yes.
Welcome back to Brand More Business Hub channel. Today in the studio I have Zimkita is actually not a new person to Brand More Business Hub studio, because we did a very interesting session. Actually, it was last year in August.
In August as well, yes. It was last year August. I can talk about it.
Very interesting. That's very interesting. Yeah, so it's always a pleasure to have you. Welcome, Zim.
Thank you so much for inviting me back. It's such an honor to be here again.
Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for always honoring our invitation and coming to share the wealthy information that you have. Just for our viewers that doesn't know Zim is she has been a previous director at KPMG and also is a previous director at Ernst & Young as well. Both the accounting firms, big accounting firms for that matter. So today, I think she's going to inspire us with your wealth of information.
I hope so.
Yes. Especially looking at the topic that we're going to deal with. And your passion, Zim, I know you want empowering a young professional, black young professional as well for that matter. So today's topic, guys, the young ones sit and relax. We're going to be talking about how can you as a Gen Z or as a millennial pioneer your career growth, because you've worked with them.
Yes, I've worked with them, yes. And I love working with Gen Z and the younger millennials.
Yes.
And I always have to distinguish the younger millennials.
Okay. That's very important.
Yes.
So, Zim, my first question to you is, from your experience as a director at KPMG, at EY, or even all other organizations, because you have worked in different organizations on various positions as well. How, from your experience, how do you see the current landscape for the Gen Z and younger millennials in young South Africa corporate? And are they better positioned looking at us, the previous generation?
I think that they're better positioned because they've got more information.
Okay.
So when I speak to young people, I always say everything that you need to actually make your career a success is available to you. Wow. You just have to go and find it. Yeah. Right? And compared to us who actually were navigating this career path without any conversations, without any knowledge of what we were going to see when we got into the corporate spaces. Our parents did not have the experience because they were literally precluded from ever occupying office positions and corporate positions. Yeah. So we were going in blind. And I think that this generation at least goes in with a lot of enlightenment and information that is available to them. Yeah. Whether then, as I said, we can prescribe and say this is the medication that you need to actually navigate your career. Yeah. Whether then you take the medication or not, it becomes another thing and a personal journey for the young people as well.
Wow. So what you're actually saying there, now there's plenty plus information.
There's plenty of information. If you want to be a certain kind of a leader, you just go on YouTube. Yeah. Find a video that people to emulate. Yes. Right? You can actually watch this podcast and ask yourself, at this level of your life, would you want to be on Brand More's podcast? Yeah. But you actually have people available and visible to you to actually be an example for you of what you can be in the future. But you have to use it and you actually have to work then on yourself. And say, this is what I want. How much do you want this career path? Yes. Then you actually have to do the work yourself.
Wow. Yes. And actually, I think that's a very great privilege compared to those that were looking forward, the only people that they know maybe is their father, their immediate family.
Yes. Yeah. And we didn't know anyone. Yeah. And it's not even like we didn't know anyone. Yes. I mean, my mom was a teacher, and the corporate environment is very different from that of a teacher. Yes. My dad was working for an insurance company.
Yes.
So at least I did have an idea of what an office looks like and corporate world. But it was a small office in Butterworth, in the former Transkei.
Yeah.
And it did not equip me for what I was going to see when I started working at Arthur Andersen, when I started working at EY.
Yeah.
Because those are a different environment.
Yeah.
And I had no insight as to what I was going to face. I had no insight about being an external auditor and facing the hostility from clients as well. So I was getting all of these experiences that was the first time for me.
Yes.
And from different races as well. And whereas my dad's office was purely a black people's office.
Yeah. Wow. So that's it for the Gen Zers. Now, plenty plus information for you to go deep and say, okay, this one has built their career. How did they do it?
Yes.
So the information is readily available. So tell me now, many leaders, Zim, say Gen Z sometimes underestimate. I want you to hear this clearly so you can give us your opinion there. They say many people, many leaders for that matter, they say Gen Z sometimes underestimate the importance of long-term career planning. From your view, what mindset shifts are necessary for them to pioneer their career growth with purpose? Yeah.
The first thing I want to say about Gen Z is like us older generations, right? We, especially Gen Z and the younger millennials, So what we say is we forget that we were the first examples of what they grew up looking at.
Yes. Okay.
So one of the things that I think for us, I mean, as the older generations, we kind of like disassociate ourselves to how these Gen Zs have turned out to be.
Yeah.
But who did they grow up looking at?
Okay.
And one of the things that I always say, I mean, as a leader, I mean, there's and I'm not a religious person, but there is a scripture in the Bible that says, do not be irritating to your children.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Do not be irritating.
Yeah.
For me, it's a leadership thing. I'm not an irritating leader to children. And some of the things that we do in our homes and how we talk about corporate and all of those things, we actually were not as consistent. I mean, when you talk about irritating to kids, if you're not consistent as a leader, if your words and your actions are not aligned, if you don't show the right levels of compassion, of empathy, if you don't have consideration for people. And so when we look at Gen Z, we can't then say divorce ourselves from how Gen Z has turned out. So I think the starting point when we say, let's look at Gen Z and how they are, and they're not planning long term. Is it possible that because corporates, we know, have been a little bit of toxic environments in the past, is it possible that when we went home, we were modeling behaviors that make these young people look at corporate and say, I don't want to be that person, because I was at the receiving end, on the receiving end of my mom coming back there stressed. And, you understand? So let's talk about that. And I think there's a part where we have to take a little bit of accountability on how they've turned out to be. Why they're not probably then as committed to staying long in corporate, because they've seen us staying longer, but longer in environments that
that are serving them,
that are not serving them as children. And I think it becomes very easy for them, because for Gen Z, for me, their exit game is very strong. They don't sit and they don't even listen, they will just exit. So I think there's a part where when we talk about longevity of careers in corporate and them planning their lives, we have to look at the corporate spaces themselves. Have we fixed the corporate environments and the work environments to be less toxic and to be more in touch and more humane and more in touch with humanity? Because that's what Gen Z is looking for. They don't play when it comes, to their humanity, to their mental health, to their well-being. I mean, they like, find something safe to play with for real. I'm not going to do this. And then they exit this corporate. But I think we're fixing the corporate environment. But for Gen Z, for me, I think that if you look at my own example, I never planned for a corporate career. I planned for who am I going to be in future.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
The kind of leader I wanted to be. And therefore, all my corporate experiences. So I don't want to be hypocritical and say, sit here. Because I never did it. I exited a lot of environments, right? But the reason why I would exit is when the environment and my purpose were not aligning.
Yes.
I want to be a certain kind of leader. I want to be a leader who's not hurtful and harmful. I turned 48 last, I think 31st of July, right? And I feel like I'm the most connected to my purpose I've ever been, and most aligned to my purpose. And I feel like I can speak my truth. I don't have to exist in duplicity. I am the most liberated I've ever been. Right? But that's who I wanted.
You're
to
building
be.
that.
I built that from the time I was a young person. And then sometimes I didn't even know what it was that I wanted. But I wanted safe spaces. I wanted safe leaders, safe people, safe adults around me. And that's the person I've been. So I've actually, my entire corporate experience has to fit into the leader I am today at 48. So that's why then I actually stayed in the profession and I've been able to navigate within the profession. But I've stayed the course up until now. I'm 48 and I'm this leader that I want to be. So I think the better thing is to who do you want to be? What kind of leader do you want to be? So I remember a few years ago reading a book by Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And one of the chapters was talking about to begin with an end in mind.
Wow.
Right? So I always say that for me, and you had to imagine, I mean, this is your funeral, and I'm not a person who's scared of death, so I did imagine that. And what do you want people to say? So for me, it's very important, like, who will you be? How will people experience you? And then your career must then inform. And I think we get more committed that way. That's what
I think that's a very interesting way of positioning yourself together with your career to say, okay, who do I want to be? And if you ask that question and if you answer that, obviously you're going to have an answer and you now know the steps towards being that. And you know how you position yourself in the environments that you find yourself in. I think that's a very deep process of career planning.
Because I mean, if everything starts and ends with money, it's gonna be difficult for you to navigate, especially for us as Black women. You're gonna meet a lot of people who are gonna try to derail you, who are gonna do a lot of things, right? And if you don't have that, literally, that lighthouse to say, this is where I'm going no matter what. Because I always say to people, that's why I can actually rise above certain environments, right? Because I don't have then to get off my throne and wrestle with people in the mud. You know what I'm saying? On their hurtful and harmful behavior. So for me, I think, young people, they have to be very, very strong on what kind of legacy I want to leave and who am I going to be, what kind of leader am I going to be, and then work and then link their career to that.
Oh, wow, that's very interesting. So tell me, Azim, what practical steps can the young professionals now take early in their careers to build credibility? And one thing that people always say, the resilience as well, in the highly competitive landscape, especially now in 2025.
From my own experience, the best investment you can make is self-investment.
Wow.
And I always say to young, when I'm coaching them, we were talking earlier about your dream. It's your dream, right? You know your talents, your skills, your capacity, your capabilities. So as Mollen, you can tell me this is it, right? But I can never know you as much as you know yourself. You know your vision. You know your dream. This is what I want to be. Then invest in it. You literally have to take money and invest in yourself. When I was first year trainee at EY, people were speaking English. I'm a Bantu educated person, so I couldn't speak English as fluently as what was needed then.
Yeah.
I actually went and found the voice clinic.
Wow.
I spent about 4,500 because remember you were a trainee and it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
4,500 was probably
a lot of money.
40,000.
Yeah.
But I actually went to the HR department to actually apply, talk to the people, and they actually declined it. And then I went back to my counselor to say, I really want to do this. And then he says, no, you know what? Go back and tell them that whether they fund it or not, you will take annual leave to attend this thing and you will finance it yourself.
Okay.
So that's what I said. And then after I was like, okay, no, we're going to help you, give you an interest-free loan to do it. When I went back to him and I'm explaining to him, this is what has happened. It's like, Zim, as a black woman, he was a white man, what Jewish man who said this. You cannot rely on the same system that was designed to beat you down. To actually empower you and to invest in you because they don't have the vision. Right? This is a system that was designed for you to be a domestic worker. You want to be a public speaker. The system and you're not aligned. So you must learn to invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, invest in your career, invest in your dream. So when people talk about me, like the visibility, the photos, I've invested about $500,000 rands since 2025 on my brand, on the website, on photos, on clothes. Because this is the brand, this is what I want. I want this visibility. And when I went to people and said, oh, this is what I want, they were like, no, it's not possible. You can't be a CA who wants to be this visible because they hadn't done it. Right? It was a dream now bigger than even the people who had supported me all my career. No, it's not done. It can't be done. It's not a good thing to be done. 2020, when I actually had to take a career break, I invested in myself, in my brand, in the vision that I have. So that is one of the things. Invest in yourself. Invest, put money aside to say this is an investment in myself. And then follow up by actually doing the things. There are free things that you can do. Like, as I said, watch a podcast. Practice. Take a phone and record yourself. And record yourself. How are you going to come across on screen or whatever? If you actually do public speaking, you invest in yourself. Money, time, effort. So that is the only advice that I can say. The best investment you can make in your career and yourself is self-investment.
I think the question that we just need to pose there, are you investing in yourself as a young professional?
Which
is very
and what are you doing?
And,
practically, what are you doing?
Practically, like daily. So because when you're investing, let's say investment in terms of money, I'm going to check month end, what interest have I earned? You get it.
How am I different? From 1st of August. Now that is the 20-something of whatever of August.
What changed?
What has changed? And
that's
is
powerful.
It taking me towards the right direction? If I want to be a public speaker, have I spoken publicly about anything? You can't just want to be a public speaker and then you can't even make a comment on LinkedIn. Then you're not aligned.
So I think this is very interesting, Zim. And I hope our young professionals, Gen Z, the young millennials are really, really taking this in to say, you know what you want. Because I think there's that misalignment. You know what you want. Everyone wants that. But what are you doing?
What are you doing towards getting there? And for me, I find, like, because I mentor and coach a lot of people and I make time. I took 5 months off, since February. And I actually go and meet young people. I pay for the restaurants to go and meet them. So I think I met about probably 20, 25 of these young people. And one of the things is, like, as you're saying, you know what you want, right? But what I find is, like, people are waiting for you to tell me, tell me what I should do. I'm like, but my life and your life are not the same. You know yourself. So I can only listen and advise from here. So I think there's also this idea of people always looking for role models, looking for someone to guide them, and over-reliance on mentorship, over-reliance on coaching. Whereas sometimes just do it. Just do it. You don't need someone to tell you. Just do it. If you want to be a public speaker, publicly speak.
Yes. That's very, very, very interesting. So I think for this one, I think this is very, very critical. And actually this applies equally. I was thinking when we were talking, equal apply to women as well.
Yes.
Right? You want to be in the board, but you're not even doing anything.
You're going to get me off, starting off another tangent.
Okay,
yes. Because that is so true. That is so true, right? Because I want to be in the board. But then I don't attend a networking event. I cancel last minute. I'm relying on my husband, my brother to look after the kids who can actually renege at any minute. Right? Therefore, I have to cancel. You have to put a support structure, invest in a support structure that will get you to the board. You have to network to meet people.
Yes.
One of the events that I attended beginning of the year with Board Partners, an international organization. One of the comments that was made by Guido, who is the Board Partners CEO, I think, was when they offer board positions to men. Men can make the decision immediately. Then they. And or at least give some sort of certainty as to it looks like I might or might not be able to take it. But for women, they go and consult with Mollen, with Umama, and then by the time, and then the guys are like, oh, she's not interested.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
And I said, do you understand why? Because the women have to put a structure in place for them to actually be available to actually do this work. But why don't we proactively put the structure?
Yes.
You want to go and be a board director, then your structure
is
invest in your structure. Yes, invest upfront in your structure so that you don't have to rely on Zimkita who can just say, oh, oopsie, you know, I'm not going to be able to do it. So it applies equally. Invest in your structure. Invest then in your career, in the ultimate person you want to be.
Very interesting. So Zim, when we look at maybe purpose and identity, purpose, actually you always talk about my purpose, you know. For purpose requires maybe discipline. How do you think Gen Z now can avoid the trap of cashing quick wins, you know, wanting more, just quick wins, more money there, instead of sustainable growth? We're talking about sustainable growth. Maybe just a tip there. How do you think they can avoid that trap of wanting quick wins?
I think that, I'm going to go back to how committed are you to your own purpose, right? So purpose, you're right. My purpose in life is to be this kind of leader who wasn't spreading harm and hurt in the world, and who was visible, and who is a conscious leader, and so that was my vision. But it was long term. So I started this. I had an idea in my 20s about what I wanted, hence the voice clinic, hence the putting myself out there for public speaking or engagements at EY where I would have to present to a client and all of those things. But even though I wasn't clear, but I kind of like knew the kind of work that has to be done. And remember, Mollen, at that point, your voice is shaking. You're scared because English is not your first language. Now you have to put your hand up, and and people were so harsh in their criticism and judgment. If you have mispronounced a word, they would make the entire meeting about that.
But they've understood, but because you didn't pronounce it
well. You didn't pronounce it well. You were breathing through them. It's like really petty things for people to actually derail you from your goal. So I think the first thing is understanding how hard the work is going to be. Right? But saying that my purpose overrides any hardship, any pain that I'm going to endure in order for me to get there. At SAICA, when I was working for SAICA, I had to go and present in Cape Town, and I know it was George and Cape Town, and very hostile places for a black woman to think that they can stand on the podium and present. And it was my first presentation. I'm not a technical person.
Yes.
I'm working in an environment where people are technical.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, I just need to change the narrative that this must be a very technical place, because I was brought in to kind of like distill the technical parts for members in business.
Yeah.
So I'm speaking in a generalized business terms, and I get to the George and Cape Town, and I remember seeing the hostility, you know, because you are standing and then you see the people.
Yeah.
And I had a proper meltdown. I mean, the slides were not working because you could see, I mean, and I'm already a senior executive at that time, but I was not prepared for the kind of hostility that I saw in fellow CA's eyes. But and then you get the spreadsheet that comes with people's comments on. Zim must never come back here. You're not prepared. You're not technical. You're not this and this and this. But the following week, I stood up again.
Yeah.
And I went, because I'm like, I'm changing the narrative that we're going to talk in these very technical terms. And also, you knew that the people did not like the idea of a black woman standing in front of them and having knowledge and thought leadership. That was the hostility. And for that entire 2017, 2018, I think people started melting around towards the end of 2018.
Yeah.
But other than that, they just hated me. They would, I mean, someone wrote, "Shame, poor thing, she was breathing." I'm like, how do you know it was me?
Yeah.
There were 6 people on there. But the most, and the thing is, Mollen, people who actually do not like the idea of you are so committed to writing comments.
Yes.
So I would get a rating of 3.5, 3.6, almost 4.
Yeah.
But the people who hated me, they were committed to writing paragraphs as to why I should not be on stage, why I should not be standing there.
Yeah.
But then again, you understand as well that I always say to people that, especially with me and us as South Africans with our background and how we've grown up, at some point you have to know that you become a mirror of how much the more privileged people, maybe according to them, they look at you and say they know the hardships that you've gone through to get here, and you become a mirror of how much they are doubting their own success. Right. So it maybe comes from a point by how dare she actually thinks that with her accent and Bali education, she can stand here and teach us when I have a private school education and I can't do the same. But it was hard work. So it is understanding it's going to be painful. It's going to be difficult. But because your vision is so clear, you're actually willing to stay the course.
Wow.
Right. Wow. Yeah. So that's what I can advise them.
Yes. So you know what your advice practical, because you've lived it. So when you're going the journey, understand the end goal, like what you just said.
Yes.
To say and know that it's not going to be smooth sailing, but it is going to be work.
It's going to be,
and you'll be committed because that's your vision.
That's your vision, and you cannot get people to push you to realize your own vision. You have to do it yourself. It's going to be a painful journey. It's going to be a very tough journey, but you're going to stay the course because you really want to actually have this legacy that you want to leave.
So Zim, having led teams, I know as a director, as a partner within the Big Four as well, and you have been a leader at other institutions, which means you had these young people following you. What common mistakes, do you see young professionals making when it comes to maybe managing their career, and how can they avoid them? Like practical common mistakes that you have seen it repeatedly. And those that are listening to today, how can they avoid that? What are those?
Okay, the one that I've already spoken about is over-reliance on mentorship. For Black women especially, it is, you want to be a CEO, but your environment and the people that you're surrounding yourself with are not aligned to your goal. So you have no mutuality of purpose with the people you surround yourself with. So and I make an example, you want to be a CEO, I mean, and I always say this, it's only black women who are asked to do this.
Yeah.
Mollen is a CEO, he runs a brand more, and then someone says, but when you get home, you can't be a CEO and a chairperson here.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, when I call Mollen at 2 o'clock in the morning, I expect a CEO to answer the phone. Right?
Yeah.
I expect a CEO to make decisions.
Yes.
So I think for us is, do the people that are around you, are they aligned to your goal? And we sit and make excuses because we don't want to let go of these people.
Yeah.
Someone who thinks that your biggest contribution in their life is cooking and not being a CEO has no mutuality with someone who wants to be a CEO, right? But we sit, I mean, as I said, black women, that's because of the conversations I had. And it's like, but if then their biggest KPI is chopping carrots or whatever, I don't cook that much, whatever it is, and you want to be a thought leader, there is no mutuality with this person, right? But you're like, no, in an African culture, then you're not going to be CEO. That's why black women are not CEOs. Because their culture, the people who are surrounding them, their environments are not believing that they should be a board chair or a CEO or an audit partner or something like that. Why are you skewing yourself?
And misaligned.
You are misaligned. You have no mutuality. There's never going to be any reciprocity here, right? And for me, then when I teach young people is to say, scan your environment first.
You're actually reminding me of the conversation that I had with one of my senior team members. I'm like, just list for me your friends.
Yes. Who are your friends?
But you're getting in management. And out of that list, and you're saying your best friend is your sister, younger sister, for that matter. So who are you sharing the challenges of leadership that you are entering into? And so that's a very important.
And also we go to I mean, the one that I've seen, husbands. You are a manager in an audit firm. You've got 2 little kids. Your husband works from home, but he can't change nappies. You are the breadwinner here. He works from home. He doesn't have a steady source of income, but he can. Zimkita comes, I need you to interpret IFRS, please. And I need you to do it after hours. This is how we work here. Right? Now you're telling me we have to change nappies. There's nothing wrong with it. But then you have no mutuality of purpose with someone who says, I don't want to have a helper in my house while they're not cleaning and helping you.
To touch my shit.
I don't want my helper to do. You have no mutuality of purpose with this person. And people are like, no, Zim, are you against marriage? Like, no, have the right conversations. Right? The other thing that people do is like, I mean, I was talking to young women, they put money into these businesses of their husbands or boyfriends or whatever. I'm like, but you're CA. Where is, what are you? Are you a shareholder here or are you a funder? Oh, hi Zim, I was just putting money in. This money that you're supposed to have invested in your own career. You're putting money into this business. You have no shareholders agreement. You're saying you have no loan agreement. Right? And then I'm asking you to invest in yourself in public speaking. You don't have money.
You don't have the money.
You understand? So it's like the people that you surround yourself are very important. And the third one is, again, self-investment. Make sure, even if it's not now, pay. IFRS, it is available. When you actually go to clients, understand, this is a section I'm going to be auditing. Right? Why am I doing this? Why am I auditing this? What is the end goal? Right? And then when you're sitting on the weekend, go and research. Everything you need is available to you. You can go on YouTube and find an IASB podcast. They talk about revenue recognition. Can you equip yourself before you go to clients? What are the tax issues? What are the issues that, I mean, your eyes are international standards on auditing. And I tell this, no, we don't have time. Well, you're wasting time because you come in here and you're not prepared, you're wasting time. And then the next thing, when you're being corrected, it becomes this environment that is going to be harsh. You already know the environment is harsh. It's not. It's against you.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't make it worse.
Yeah.
By then, not
by not. I like that. Don't make it worse.
Don't make it worse. You already know.
The world is already.
Yes. The world is anti-black. Women is anti-black. Can you go and be prepared and wow the hell out of these people?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's investment in knowledge, investment in physically putting money.
Yes.
But can you understand what is we want a competent person, a CA?
Yes.
Invest in that. And that includes you being prepared, know what you're gonna say.
Yes.
Prepare in advance when you're gonna speak to clients.
Yeah.
So it's like little things like that that people they overlook.
Okay.
And then the next thing then it actually derails their career. And they don't understand why.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Whereas as much as I'm very big on nurturing talent, but about 90% of people, they don't have that kind of passion for nurturing talent. But then you must understand your environment and invest accordingly.
Yeah. Wow. I hope our Gen Z and our young millennials are taking notes.
Yes. Yeah. No, I'm wanting that. I'm going to be asking them, did you see this podcast?
Yes. Wow. This conversation is breathtaking, Zim, and it's very, very important for our viewers. And I think they can actually see where we are heading with this conversation. So stay tuned for part 2.